they are taking things that we've already exposed in the Public Accounts Committee. Our party has been talking about this. I've been consistent talking about corruption. Watch my Twitter handle. So we can't join Tsenengamu and Matutu. They will have to join us because the corruption fight has been on before they started having the guts to speak out.
Okay. So in terms of political, what proposals do you have that should be addressed for Zimbabwe to be fixed politically? Because this standoff has been there, and it's almost 2 years now after elections.
I think that, as you know, Emerson is not interested in dialogue. President Mbeki was here in December. Emerson said to President Mbeki he needed time to consult his party. That was in December. We are now in February. He's no longer even taking Mnangagwa is no longer even taking President Mbeki's calls. So Zimbabweans, we must direct the future of where we want to go. I've got a feeling personally that the majority of Zimbabweans are no longer interested in dialogue. What they want are reforms. What they want is the constitutional peaceful removal of this government. So we must bite the bullet and go in the streets because the constitution allows us. Because the door for dialogue might be too late.
But let me understand the finer details of this dialogue. What were you looking forward to? What kind of an arrangement were you looking forward to?
First, we've made it very clear that we are not interested in a government of national unity.
Okay, number one.
We are interested in dialogue that leads to reform. Legal reform, political reform, social reform, electoral reform. We want dialogue to ensure that the country moves away from the current mischief that is arresting this country. What are those mischiefs? There is a political crisis arising out of the stolen election of 2018. What are those crises? There's a legal crisis around lack of reforms. You are a journalist. Look at the state of IPA. Look at the Broadcasting Act. Look at the levies. Only last week, the Minister of Information gazetted prices of starting a new television license. $1 million. Who has got that kind of money? 248,000 for a radio license. That's ridiculous. That's madness. So we need reforms. Zimbabwe, 8 million people have to be fed right now. But if you go to the rural areas, and I've been traveling around the country. I was in Masvingo yesterday. I was in Manicaland on Saturday. I was in Chinhoyi on Thursday. Bendura on Friday. And Marsh East Marondera on Wednesday last week. People are complaining about the weaponization of food aid because ZANU is grabbing that which donors are giving and pretending that it is there. So we need reforms. But once we have reforms, we then have to say, how are these reforms going to be implemented? That's why as MDC, we are proposing a national transitional authority to oversee the implementation of the reform agenda. But once the reforms are implemented, we go to an election.
But don't you think you are spanning out an opportunity to proffer all these proposals at the political actors dialogue, which President Mnangagwa called for? People have been saying you should have been presented yourself there and make your case there.
We will never be part of Pollard.
But the president
has no legitimacy. I mean, how would you go and sit with Professor Maduku, Mrs. Kupe, Elton Mangoma, who got less than 1% of them? There are only two political parties in Zimbabwe. The MDC under President Nelson Chamisa and the ZANU-PF under Emerson Mnangagwa. Those are the two parties